Hello everyone. Welcome to our grammar lesson on present and past continuous tense. Let us start with some questions for you. What do you eat for breakfast? So here I am asking about what you eat for breakfast every day or normally. So your answer is I eat dosa. What did you eat for breakfast today? So here I am asking about just today and the action has already been completed. So your answer is I ate poha. What are you eating now? I am eating chocolates. So what are the different tenses in these three questions? In the first sentence, I am asking about something you do every day or normally. So this is in present tense. In the second question, I am asking about what you did today and the action has already completed. So that is why you replied in I ate. So which tense is this in? It's in the past tense. And what are you eating now? I am eating. What tense is this? Which brings us to the objective of our today's lesson. Our objective today is we will be able to know about the continuous tense and use it in both present and past form and ask questions. What is a present tense? Present tense is an action we do every day or normally. Past tense, where the action has already completed. And continuous tense. Continuous tense is an action that is still happening at the time I am talking about. So before we go on with the lesson, let us recap the person verb table for the verb be. So we will do it for the first person, which is I and we, second person, which is you and plural you, and the third person, which is everyone who is not a first person or a second person. A third person can be he, she, it, they. It can be the name of a person or a name of a thing or anyone. So how is the verb be looking in the person verb table? I am, you are, he is, she is, it is. We are, you are, they are. We already learned this in yesterday's class. Next, we will look at the person verb table in the past tense. I was, you were, he was, she was, it was. We were, you were, they were. We also learned about this in yesterday's class. Next, we will read this piece of text. I am walking down the street when I meet you. You ask me where I am going. I tell you that I am going to the shops. We stop and talk for a few minutes. I then tell you I am leaving. I walk away. So can you identify the verbs in this paragraph? Let us try. I am walking down the streets when I meet you. So a verb tells us of an action. So what are the actions happening in this sentence? Let us take a look. Am walking, meet you. Then we continue reading the paragraph. Ask, am going. Tell, am going. Stop, talk, tell, am leaving, and finally walk. So my next question is, which tense has been used here? So I look at the be verb, which is am, and I also look at the action verbs meet, ask, tell, and I think this all are in present tense. So this paragraph is in present tense. Next, we already know that we have got action verbs like meet and tell and stop and talk. But we also have these verbs: am walking, am going, am leaving. What are these verbs? So these verbs, you can see they have got the be verb, which is am, and after that there is an action verb and then it's ing. So it is am plus walk plus an ing. Similarly, we have got am plus go plus ing and am plus leave plus ing. So what do we have here? We have the be verb, then an action verb, and then an ing. Let us see what these verbs mean. Look at these two sentences. I walk to the shop every day. I am walking to the shop now. So in the first sentence, I am telling about something which I do every day. The verb walk is in present tense. In the second sentence, I am walking to the shop now. Here, the action is still continuing now. We call this as a present continuous tense. So what is a present continuous tense? It tells us that an action is still happening. It is continuing now. It uses the be verb in the present tense, then the action verb, and then an ing at the very end. These are some examples. I am walking, you are eating, he is running. You can see these are the be verbs in the present tense. After that, we have the action verb, walk, eat, and run. And finally, all of them ends with an ing. So these are all in present continuous tense, and all of them tell us what I am doing right now. So I am walking means I am walking right now. You are eating right now. He is running right now. That is what a present continuous tense does. But have you noticed that the spelling of running has changed? So how do we know how to change the spelling in a present continuous tense? I will give you a set of rules which you can follow when you are writing a verb in a continuous tense. I will share it in the chat. Let's read this text. I was walking down the street when I met you. You asked me where I was going. I told you that I was going to the shops. We stopped and talked for a few minutes. I then told you I was leaving. I walked away. So can you identify the verbs here? Was walking, met, asked, going, told, was going, stopped, talked, told, was leaving, and walked. So now again the same question, which tense has been used here? See here, I looked at the words was, met, which is the past tense of meet, asked, which is the past tense of ask, told, which is the past tense of tell, stopped, which is the past tense of stop. So I have figured out that this paragraph has been written in the past tense. So what are these verbs in the paragraph? Was walking, was going, was leaving. So these verbs tell us I was doing an action, which in the first sentence was I was walking. So I was doing an action of walk when I met you. The action was still continuing when I met you, and it is in the past. But it was still continuing when the meeting happened. So that is why we call it as the past continuous tense. So what is a past continuous tense? Tells that an action was still happening when another action happened. It uses the be verb, but this time it uses it in the past tense. Then it uses the action verb and then it ends with an ing. These are some of the examples. I was walking, you were eating, he was running. So here we can see we have got the be verb in the past tense, which is was, were, and and was. After that, you have got the action verb, which are walk, eat, and run, and everything ends with an ing. But we also say that when we are writing something in the past continuous tense, that action is still happening when another action happened. So if I just say I was walking, it does not complete the sentence. So to complete the sentence, we have to say which action happened when I was walking. So I use I was walking when I met you. So now the sentence is complete. You were eating when I went to your house. He was running when he fell down. So we are talking about something which was happening in the past. The action was still continuing when something else happened. We will practice this in more detail. So don't worry. If you don't understand, we will practice them. As we have also seen when we were doing the be verb, we can always use them to ask questions. So I am going to school. The verb is am, the be verb. How are we going to ask the question? Am I going to school? You are walking. The be verb is are. Are you walking? He was singing. The be verb is was. Was he singing? You were laughing. The be verb is were. Were you laughing? You are talking. Be verb is are. Are you talking? They were fighting. The be verb is were. Were they fighting? So we have already learnt about this in yesterday's lesson when we were asking questions with the be verb. We just practiced it a little bit more here, and we can see that when we are using it in the continuous tense, the rule remains the same for asking questions. Next, we will do some more practice in the class. Now this is something for you to note. We have used the term auxiliary verbs yesterday. What are auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. They help an action verb. For example, the sentence I am going to school, we have the verb am, which is helping the verb go, which is the action verb. So here am is an auxiliary verb. Yesterday what did we do? We learned be as a linking verb. So for example, I am a girl. Here the verb am was linking the word I and a girl. Today what did we learn? We learned that the be verb can be used as an auxiliary verb. Here the verb am is helping the action verb go. Finally, you'll give this test after watching this video. In the next lesson, we will learn about more auxiliary verbs.